We're going to be trying to get this mower running, and we are naming her Amanda. So if you guys have hung in with me, that means we've repaired about 26 mowers, and one of them is only one, I think it was Isabel, I couldn't get running because the crankshaft has been way too bad. We've straightened out some crankshafts and gotten them to run okay, but that one was just too messed up. Well, so we've come full circle now, and we've gone back to the A's, and now we're on Amanda. And Amanda is a big Murray self-propelled Select. It's got the bigger modern engine, overhead valve. It's pretty big. It's 150 cc's, 6.25 gross torque. And it's got some issues. I bought it used because it wouldn't run, and but the self-propelled feature I think may work. We're going to find out. These wheels, front wheels where the self-propelled is, have decent grooves on them, so it hadn't been used too much. The oil is good. It's at a good level and it's pretty clean. The carburetor, I've taken the cover off, and the filter looks brand new, so they're taking care of that pretty well. And it's pretty clean. I think I've already cleaned up in here a little bit, but I'm always glad to see the original screws in here. The 5/16 one right there, and then I think it's the 9/32 there and there. They're pretty easy to see because they're silver, and that's the other 5/16. So 5/16, 5/16, 9/32, 9/32. These two hold this plate onto the carb. These two bigger ones hold this onto a metal bracket back here. This one's a little different, this vanity cover. It looks like this is one piece. Usually this piece comes off and it separates here, but this is joined. And so the tank is under this little cover. I find that unusual. Usually they stop there and then you just see the top of the tank, but the tank is under this plastic piece. So we're gonna take that off in a little while. The model number is right there, 12A032. I'm sorry, that's a Z758. 12A-A03 Z758. And I have a feeling this mower was probably manufactured in 2014 based on that tag right there where it says model year 2014. The self-propelled, and by the way, the kill switch works. It's not rusted. Like on a lot of these mowers I get in, they're rusted, and you got to remove these things and replace them or come up with another way to fix the kill switch. Now this self-propelled spring, to me, may be a little too tight, and that may be an indication that cable is frozen. It could be rusted and it may not work on the self-propelled. I did squirt some starter fluid, and that goes in this bottom hole here. This is a self-priming mower, so there's not you're not pushing a primer bulb here. That means there's linkage from the muffler to here, and it works off heat and then moves that choke plate out of the way. So you've got to squirt your starter fluid in here. I always try to push it past that little butterfly that's all the way closed because it's cold. But the other interesting thing here is I got my work cut out for me on this blade because they've hit lots of debris. There's old bags wrapped around there, cord. Who knows what I'm going to find under there, but that's all got to come out. That may be why the self-propelled, probably wouldn't work in all that great, all that stuff. The other thing that'll do is it will spin around and destroy your main seal. Then you end up with leaking oil out of the thing. So you don't want to let that stuff build up. You want to look under your mowers after several, especially if you hit something, you know, if you run over some fabric or a string or whatever, you got to look under there and get that stuff out. All right, so gonna have to deal with that. The wheels all seem to spin pretty well, so I don't think we have any rust or corrosion issues. They're not wobbly. So all in all, this is a pretty good looking mower. I do wish that it had the adjustable height handle where you loosen this and then you take the handle and lift it up and then place it in a lower hole, and that effectively raises the handle for a taller user, which I am. I hate having to bend over on these things to mow. So let's take a look underneath Amanda. I'm gonna get the cover off of her. See if I can do this with one hand. So you just get your electric drill, get your 5/16 socket on there. I don't have enough torque on it to get it going. There is it. Okay, I got it started. Let me get this one started just by turning the drill. And so I'm not using the slip gear on there. All right, so now let's see if these can come out. There's one, two, three. And this is different. If you have a mower like this at home, similar, you may not have the one where this whole piece comes off. See how that's coming up there? That's usually not on these mowers. So that's kind of nice. I guess that's why it's called a select. Oh, that one's catching. Let me get that. Let's grab it over here. There we go. Let me get my magnet on there. So we get that one off. Get that one off. One more to go. So there's the third one. I'll carefully lift this up in case there's some critters under here. You never know. Mice, spiders, scary stuff, but that looks pretty darn clean. The coil looks good. The carburetor linkage seems to be okay. We're gonna test this spring to make sure it's working. So if I pull this, see it springs back. So that means that is working correctly. And when this muffler gets hot, the heat travels up here and begins to push this, and that gets that choke plate out of the way. And then the only butterfly you got going is this one. So this all looks good. Nobody's gone in and messed with this too much. Here's one problem right here. That has come off, so you don't want that because that means it can suck in air, and that's unfiltered. So that's got to be on there, people. I don't know how that got off. It's a pretty new looking mower. Maybe somebody has been into this mower. But you know my mantra, I'm gonna get this old gas out of here, and I'm gonna do that by taking off this plate. Then the carburetor and the tank are gonna come off as a unit. This lifts up, and then you just kind of wiggle back and forth while you're gently pulling, and you free up this linkage by turning everything. It's easier to turn if you got the tank off, and then you pop this linkage out. And so we'll be doing that next time and get what's probably some old gas out of there. And that could be all that's wrong with this. Is it Amanda? I think we got Amanda. Yeah, we're working on Amanda. All right, we'll talk to you guys soon about the next steps.